Hello, I want to give a live update from the top of Media Hill at the Ochetik Shakoi camp, or the All Nations camp. This is Chase Ironaz again. I'm going to give a live update as long as we have signal. I brought my kids out here to sled. As you can see in the background, the camp is lively and the zone is militarized on the north side of the Cannonball River. The north side of what's known as Chante Preta Creek or Fireheart Creek. There's a couple of things I just wanted to update real quick. I always say that I want to do like 3 minutes and then cut out, but it always ends up being longer than that. But while I give the update, maybe I'll flip the camera around and see if we can just get some visuals of the area so that you're not always looking at my mug. Thank you. So, wow, I don't know, maybe the connection got weak. Can you guys hear? All right, maybe I'll walk into where it's I'm able to give the update. All right, so there's a few updates that you need to be aware of. One is that Governor Jack Dalrymple held a press conference and said that he's willing to meet with tribal leaders to look for a peaceful resolution to the situation. And anyways, in spite of living in a militarized zone, I mean, our kids are out here, you know what I mean? There's families, women and children, and that's how it's always been. When you think back to the times of when we were at war, it wasn't like we had, a battalion of 10,000 warriors split into different divisions and platoons and war societies and whatnot. It was our families always protecting. But right now, there's some updates. Jack Dalrymple has declared that he declared an emergency evacuation of the entire camp here. And if you look around, I mean, there's at least, I don't know, 3,000 to 5,000 people here, I would say. And so it's logistically impossible to evacuate this area, even if everybody here was willing to start disassembling all the winterization camps that they've worked so hard for over the last, 3 months or so. Not only that, but when Governor Dalrymple in the headlines say that we're defying his evacuation order, well, how can you defy an order that somebody doesn't have the authority to give? That's a legal impossibility and a complete fiction. When the governor and the state law enforcement agencies say that they're going to prevent all humanitarian aid, food, heat, shelter, and other necessities to survive the harsh winters here, he says they're going to prevent that from coming into the camp. I don't know how he plans to do that. That's so vague. It's void for vagueness in constitutional law terms, but there's no way to enforce that. And so what we're beginning to see is that they make these statements, these blanket statements, to instill fear not only in our population here, who's obviously holding strong, but everybody out in the world who's thinking about coming, who's thinking about supporting. They're trying to drive a sense of doubt into people. But obviously, I mean, it's not working. I mean, it's actually backfiring on them, because it shows, when Governor Dalrymple makes a statement like, well, we never planned to raid the camp with any force. Well, yeah, because you can't. You don't have the authority to do that. The only way that you do that is if the President of the United States or the Army Corps of Engineers requests your assistance, your armed, historically unprecedented militarized assistance in executing that removal. Now, it's important to note, though, that the Army Corps deadline of December 5th to either move out of this camp that you see in your view right now, which is north of the Cannonball River, The Army Corps is saying you move out of here or you will be considered trespassers. They want to consider us trespassers, we descendants of the signatories of the 1868 treaty and 1851 treaty, the treaty at Horse Creek. We signed and pledged our peace based on our inherent sovereign rights to determine our own destiny in this hemisphere, in areas in which we have lived for millennia untold. Now the Army Corps, you know, I've been doing all the interviews that I can. I'm not the I'm not the spokesperson, or I don't represent the Standing Rock Nation. But when I give updates, when I speak, I try to speak in a way that provides a concise, non-propagandized view and analysis of where we stand as tribal nations, native nations, signatories, people who have an international personality and character. I mean, look, when we talk about the treaty, how long have we been screaming to the United States and to the world to honor the treaties? The treaties mean nothing unless we are willing to defend them with the force of our lives. And the only leverage we've ever had in this fight, this no DAPL fight, is our willingness to put our bodies in harm's way to stop the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. We are meant, they mean for us to bear risks that they chose not to bear. They want to put this pipeline here. They want us to look our children in the eye and tell them that we sentence them to death. We sentence their future to death. We gave them poisoned, cancerous water as our parting gift to them. And when I was thinking about what could happen, because we have friends who are in the Guard, we have friends who are in Bismarck, and a lot of the Guard is activated. Hotel rooms are unavailable in Bismarck this weekend because of the presence of law enforcement and first responders. But add to that the fact that there are 2,000 veterans on their way to the Oceti camp. We are in uncharted territory right now. And as tribal nations, we need to stand up. We need to make our presence known. We may never get this opportunity to assert our treaty rights, to assert our international legal claims to this very area where we stand. It's no accident that we've been demilitarized. We were disarmed back in the late 1800s. We were made to be a dependent sovereign, which is an oxymoron. And we were doomed to a life of an imposed poverty culture. And that's what you're seeing right now, is we don't want that anymore. We refuse to live with that. And right now, we are the ghost dancers of our time. But the difference is, right now, people of all origins share in this vision with us. What you can see is people want something different. They want something new. Right now, with all the veterans coming, we're calling into question who can call who a patriot, who can call who a traitor, who can charge who with treason, who can say who is disloyal to the waters, to the lands, to the sacred sites of our country. America is 240 years old, and it's about time that Americans, true patriots, true lovers of the Constitution, who hold that document in the highest of esteem, who still hold truths to be self-evident. We need you to help us take our country back, because it's headed for somewhere where we don't want to go. Donald Trump is on deck. We have a state a petrostate of North Dakota, which has militarized its entire police force to protect outside corporate interests. To drill this pipeline, to put this pipeline here and put us in the sacrifice zone. To put North Dakotans, Americans, and tribal nationals in the sacrifice zone. That's our future. Right now it's us, but they're coming for you next. I've said it time and again. Your Fourth Amendment rights to be free from illegal search, seizure, and surveillance. Right now, that's non-existent. We're under drone surveillance 24/7. We can't make a move without them knowing. Your Second Amendment rights to bear arms. Your First Amendment rights to peaceably assemble. Your rights to speak freely anywhere in this country, not just in a free speech zone, which they are trying to prescribe for us right now. Your right to freely travel on all of our highways. They have a military blockade just 200 yards from where I stand right now. Those are the rights that are at risk. So don't let them tell you that this is just a fight about Native American rights to clean water. This is so much more than that, and you better wake up. You better come out here, because it's hard times. We don't know what's coming, but we're ready for it. And I wanted to just give a brief update. I mean, every day, look at these people out here. Their spirits are up. These people are strong. They're the descendants of survivors who refuse to be moved from their homelands. It's as simple as that. We're not trying to be violent. We're not trying to be braggadocious. This is our birthright. We are here to protect the bloodlines of Mother Earth. Now, I just want to send this message out very quickly. Every chance I get, I'll give you guys a live update. But it's so unpredictable out here. I'm doing my best to provide accurate information, to provide a support with our organization, Last Real Indians. Everybody's taking action every day. This whole month is a month of action. Our colleagues, our esteemed colleagues, shut down the Wells Fargo Bank in Minneapolis, and expect many more shutdowns. Tomorrow I'm going on Swedish media to talk about the bank pullout there that was influenced by our Sami brothers and sisters. Like I said, I'm no official spokesperson, but you can always look here and count on reasoned analysis. And I'll try not to propagandize, but you have to understand that we owe a duty to the lands, to the waters, to the sacred sites, to everything that makes us great. We will make America great again. That's what we're doing right here. That's what's happening behind us. Donald Trump, one last thing. You talk a lot about national security. Well, the Dakota Access Pipeline doesn't promote national security interests one bit. This isn't American oil to be produced and consumed on American soil, like DAPO claimed, but which they have now admitted is a complete lie. This oil is destined for foreign markets. It only increases our dependency on foreign oil. So we got to stop all that BS and just take real stock of where we're at. So again, I said it last 3 minutes. I probably went way over that. So I'm going to shut down for now. I'll talk to you next time, and thanks for tuning in.